light isn't so crazy. It's 4:30. Not the best light right now for driving and doing video. So today has been what I'm calling Warrior Wednesday. I don't like to have to refer to myself as a mom warrior, but there are definitely days like today when you feel like you have to be one. So I had put in a previous vlog that I was really excited about our speech pathologist working with us. Actually, it's an SLPA, an assistant with RDI. And unfortunately, when I went in for our speech session yesterday, turned out she said that we could not incorporate RDI because it was out of her scope of practice. And that didn't make a lot of sense to me because all the things we do in RDI are very much communication based. Using declarative language, working on co-regulation, visual referencing. They're all kind of a part of that. So I didn't quite understand that. And so I thought I would do a little digging. And I went to the Department of Health Services with Arizona to their licensing department. And I looked through all the legislation first to find the scope of practice. And I could find one for the SLPA, which basically just says that there are certain things that they can't do, obviously. They can't do anything diagnostic, and they can't write the goals and things like that. But as far as what they're allowed to do with your child, they are allowed to do whatever the speech and language pathologist has put in the program. Now, as far as scope of practice is concerned with the speech and language pathologist themselves, I didn't see anything. So I called and I spoke with someone, the head of that department, and they said there actually really isn't one. There's a definition of what speech and language pathology is, but they're pretty open to do, even within that definition, they're pretty open to do whatever they feel will help with communication. So what this told me was that it wasn't that they weren't open to using RDI because it was out of their scope of practice. They just didn't want to do it. Which I understand too. I mean, that's fine. If you're not willing to do that, it's not something you want to learn, that's fine. But just say that. Say, this isn't really something I'm interested in. I don't agree with it or whatever. So I've been really frustrated today. I also kind of by accident, because of all of this, kind of found out about something else that's been going on that isn't right. We have been seeing a speech and language pathologist there for a couple of years. She wasn't a really great match for my daughter, but I'm kind of soft-hearted. I kind of have a hard time, and I'm new at this. I hear people say, oh, sometimes your kids aren't a match, but I thought, well, maybe we'll just give this some time. Yeah, 2 years is a lot of time. Some things happened, and we ended up, I kind of took an opportunity because she was missing some sessions due to some other things in her life. And so I just kind of decided to go ahead and try somebody new. And originally, I was told I was getting a speech and language pathologist because that's what I wanted, not an SLPA. And I showed up for the appointment, and someone came up and introduced themselves to me, but it was not the person I was told I was going to be with. And so I said, well, I thought I was supposed to be with this SLP, blah, blah, blah. And she said, no, you're with me. And I'm like, okay. So we just went with it, see what this is about. She's an SLPA, no big deal. If she's good at what she does, it doesn't matter. And goals that had been written with the previous speech therapist, because my daughter and her didn't really mix very well, Samara could do everything. I mean, she was so beyond her goals. So they ended up writing new goals. Now, I never really questioned who was writing the goals, because I assumed that it was the SLP that I thought I had the initial appointment with. And every time we did write new goals, this SLPA would ask me my opinion about the goals, and I kind of assumed they were still being written by an SLP though. But the goals still never really seemed right. They never really matched up with my child and like what she could do, what she was capable of. The bar was really set quite low, and I didn't understand that, and I showed them to my RDI consultant, and she said, well, where are they getting these goals from? Like, what tool are they using, the assessment tool, to create these goals? And I said, like, I don't know. So I asked her, and the SLPA was like, well, maybe we should just do a new evaluation. And I thought that was kind of strange. And long story short, the goals are either being written by the SLP that we've never seen, or they're being written by the SLPA, and there's just an SLP there that we've never seen that's just signing off on them, and he or she has never seen or worked with my child. Either one isn't right. Yeah. So kind of egg in my face as a parent, not realizing this is going on. So I've just been kind of in knots all day, and I've been doing a lot of research and trying to decide what I'm going to do now. And I asked them, if I file a complaint, I said, does it come back on the SLPA or does it come back on the agency? Because I personally think it's the agency's fault. The agency should be monitoring all this, and the agency should have an SLP on staff that is actively, they should be following through with all this and all the paperwork, right? To make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. The SLP is supposed to be overseeing all the SLPAs. At least 10% of the work has to be overseen directly, which means I would have had to have seen this SLP in the last year, and I have not seen one at all. So that's where I'm at today, Warrior Wednesday. It's frustrating. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has been through the same thing. Maybe there's somebody out there that doesn't, realize this is going on, and they're having issues too. So just wanted to share that with you today. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this out separately or if it's going to be a part of my other vlog at this point. I guess you'll find out. I am just going out to run an errand to clear my head because I'm just stressed over all this. So that's all for now. I will see you guys another time. Alright guys, we just got done with occupational therapy. While I was there, I was able to speak with the administrator of the agency concerning what had been happening the past year with the way the goals were written and the SLP that we have mysteriously never seen. Now, according to her, she says the 10% is allowable for over the phone conversing with the SLPA, going back and forth discussing the child and what goals are necessary, and then they work those goals out together over the it was explained to me by the board. So I'm going to go back to him just to clarify, because I need to know as a parent what my rights are and the way things are to be done. I just told her I wasn't trying to be threatening per se. I just said, you know, I need to know going forward that if we do have some problems with goals, that I have someone to go to for support, because I haven't seen the speech and language pathologist at all in the last year. And so she said, well, we can give you that 10% in person if that's what you want. And so, yeah, I said, definitely, you know, I'd like to know that I have that support there if I need it. While we were in that meeting, she brought up RDI. I hadn't even brought it up. And there was some miscommunication concerning that. And that's kind of what I thought maybe too, in hindsight, because she kind of thought we were going to like try and train her to run an RDI program. And of course, that's not even possible. There's no way I can do that. It was more like, you know, bring Kim in to kind of give her some tips on how to work with Samara better. Yeah, she even thought that like we were gonna like want to rewrite the goals for RDI goals or something, which wasn't the case. So we got that hashed out. She said that Kim could come in to the sessions. That was fine, and that's what we wanted. So the story isn't quite over, but we're on the right path. So I'm going to keep you updated. Hopefully we'll have some more good news. I would like to know that they aren't doing anything wrong. I would feel better about that. I would feel better about referring other parents there, knowing that they're not doing anything that they're not supposed to do. So I'll wait to hear back from the board concerning the legalities of things. And as far as the RDI goes, we're set to go. So I'm excited again. Yes. Sometimes it's better to just talk to people instead of just being rash and filing complaints and tipping the bucket. All right. I have to go get my hair cut. Samara's gonna go in the house and chill with Dad while I do that. And I'll keep you guys posted. Talk to you later. Okay, so I have an update for you guys. I was correct in my understanding of the definition of direct supervision. So she is supposed to be getting 10% of direct supervision and 10% of indirect supervision during the speech sessions. So we should have seen a speech and language pathology assistant at some point during the last year, which we have not. Now 10% isn't a lot. It works out to be about 10 minutes or so per session, but it definitely would have been nice to have that support when I had questions about the goals or I didn't understand why they were written the way that they were, because they seemed to be definitely below her ability. And I just want to read you the definition from the law, and I'll put the link down in the description below in case you live in Arizona and this is something that is a concern to you. It's 36-1901, and the definition states for direct supervision, direct supervision means the on-site, in-view observation and guidance of a speech and language pathology assistant by a speech and language pathologist while the speech and language pathology assistant performs an assigned clinical activity. And we have never seen that. Now, if you don't attend your child's speech sessions and you are wondering if that direct supervision is happening, they are required to document that, and it says that in the law. If you go to, and I will put this in the description below, like I said before, 36-1940.04, it states, it says they must inform a patient, client, or student when the services of speech and language pathology assisting are being provided. And number 5, document all periods of direct and indirect supervision provided to a speech and language pathology assistant. So you should be able to request that documentation if I'm understanding that correctly. So what I would like to know from you is if you have ever been in this situation. Have you ever seen your speech and language pathologist? Is your assistant doing all the work? Does it matter to you? Have you seen any difference in progress? Like, are you unhappy with the progress and you're not seeing your speech and language pathologist? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, how would you handle the situation? Would you go directly to the state licensing board and file a complaint, or would you go to DDD if your services are being provided by DDD? How would you handle this situation? I'd like to know. Also, if you like this video, as always, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know. That lets YouTube know. And I want to know if you're getting value from these. If there's anything specific that you want to see, definitely let me know and I'll try and include that in my vlogs. Also, if you would like to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. If you want a notification, make sure you tap that bell a second time so that you will get notified when I upload. I plan on uploading a video every Wednesday. That's my goal. You might get a bonus vlog here and there as well. And then, of course, my RDI playlist is ongoing because that is the homework that I have to do for my RDI consultant, and you can always find that on there as well. I'm always uploading every week to that list. Also, things to look forward to. April 7th is an event that we are going to called Sky Kids, and it's been going on for several years now, and it is an opportunity for kids with developmental disabilities to experience flying in an airplane. These are all donated by private pilots. Their time, their fuel, and their plane is donated to give these kids a chance to fly. And we are going. This is the first time that we have been there. I have no idea if she is going to do this or not, and I already called and spoke with them, and they said every year, you know, they have people come, and then the kiddos, you know, may or may not decide to fly. So maybe that's something that you're interested in. Look forward to that vlog. I'm going to take as much video as I can. There are a couple other videos, and I can put the links to those in the description as well, from previous years that people have taken. So I don't think taking a video is going to be a problem. So I'll get as much of that as I can, and look forward to seeing that in probably the week after the 7th. The Wednesday after that, I'll probably have that vlog up for you. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!